Hi, all. I'm Cullen Haynes, and welcome to Live with Cullen Haynes, episode 80 of the LawLive show, the first one of 2026. And my next guest is an absolute powerhouse in the estates and wills and estates planning space. Has been doing what he's been doing for the last 15 years. And here to come and talk to me today, Wednesday, the 14th of Jan. This is live in real time. Put your questions in the comments. Welcome, my friend, Mr. Markus Christmann. Welcome, Markus. Thank you, and welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me today, Cullen. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir. And I'd love to know, it's the old joke, everyone's dying to get into this business. What do you do in a nutshell, day in and day out, Markus?
What I do in a nutshell. So I had people with their estate plans, so I guide them through the process of setting up a plan how they can divide their assets or will divide their assets once they pass away. And obviously I consider asset protection structures, and if the client has a business, we also put different documents into place to make sure everything runs smoothly if they either pass away or lose capacity.
Absolutely.
That's the estate planning part. I do a probate. So I had people to get probate when someone passes away to be able to actually collect and distribute the assets, and I help with estate litigation. So someone's been left out of an estate, I help the person who's been left out with a claim against the estate. This is what I do in a nutshell.
And we've got some people joining in. Piero saying hi off Instagram Live. This is live, everyone. So if you've got any questions for Markus, please put them in the comments. We're going live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X. And thank you for re-listening on the podcast as well. Give us a cheeky follow. So why do you think it is that most people don't want to think about their will and estate, and it's probably the last thing people think about, even though it's something that we all are going to have to shuffle off this mortal coil one day? Why?
But I think that's the reason. That's exactly the reason, because you don't want to think about it. It's something which is so far away. Even if you're 80, someone who made it to 100, you think it's very far away, so you don't need it yet.
Yes.
So yeah. I think that's the main problem. It's actually quite interesting. Even people who do planning for business, like CEOs, managing directors, they don't. This is a plan they should do, but rarely do.
That's the thing, right? Like most people don't have it, and that's why we've called it Legacy Law and Life Navigating Estates, is because most people don't think about it, and most wills and estates lawyers, you probably know, probably don't have it organized for themselves either. But nonetheless, if you had to explain your life using just film titles, Markus, how would you go about doing that, would you say? It's a nice, fun question.
I think there are a couple. So one would be, I give you the film titles first, and then I give you my thoughts about this. So one would be Karate Kid, then probably The Fixer, and Crocodile Dundee. So Karate Kid, because Mr. Miyagi is Daniel's guide. I guide my clients through all the problems and legal issues.
Yes.
The Fixer, if there's a problem because something went totally wrong, I try to fix it for the client when they come to me.
There you go.
And Crocodile Dundee, I really like the outdoors. So I'm an outdoor person. That's more the personal part. I like camping, fishing. So that's my Crocodile Dundee part.
So Crocodile, this is not a knife. This is a knife. But this is actually a notebook.
I got camping. I've got a proper knife.
You've got a proper knife for camping. And I do like the Karate Kid. I am old enough to know the wax on, wax off. That's all it is, right?
I love it.
They're very, very good. I'm going to have to dig out those movies, I must say. What sparked your interest in specializing in wills, estates, and in cross-border legal matters, would you say?
So, look, when I started out as a lawyer, I started out in 2006 overseas. I never thought about doing estate. I thought it's just the worst area of law you could do. So I started out as M&A and capital markets lawyer and commercial lawyer. And only at some point I moved to a law firm in Australia where I did both commercial law and estate law, and actually started liking it. I like that you deal with people. Like when you do capital markets or commercial law, you deal with people, but it's more like a business issue, whereas I like the personal side of my job. So in the estate planning side, you actually get to meet a person, not just the business person. Makes sense?
It does make sense. You feel the ripples a lot more as well, right? Because you're dealing with the face-to-face, belly-to-belly with the people, for sure.
And I like the technicalities of the law. It's actually really interesting and very long ground law. It's actually fun to read. I enjoy it. So this is what I started doing.
I love that. And you've got the dual background, as you said, commercial and estates law. How do you think that combination has shaped the way you work with your clients?
It does, because it helps me to attract business clients, but business owners who want to do business succession. So I do understand all the documentation from shareholders agreements, whatever you have, trust deeds, and how to make sure and you transport this or transfer this to the next generation and have the business transfer. So because of my commercial law background, I can help easier with business succession planning. You're gone again. I can't hear you.
Oh, there you go. That always happens at least once a stream, I must say there, Marcus. So it wouldn't be technology if it didn't go out on us. But what's a surprising skill or mindset that has helped you succeed in your legal career?
When I was young, I thought all this meditation and blah, blah stuff is just rubbish.
Yeah.
But I learned at some point in my life that meditation is actually really helpful. So I learned mindfulness meditation, and actually really helps you to calm and to learn to focus better and to do a better job. And it takes a lot of stress and anxiety away. Mindfulness meditation is probably one very important skill. It doesn't have to be, it can be, there's another thing in German, which is autogenic training. It's a similar idea, but it's like this learning to calm the body.
It's all about you are a loose lily floating down an amber river, right?
Yeah.
Calming the mind. I like that. And do you have a daily practice?
Like it?
I do like it. I do like the breathing, the self-hypnosis in the morning and the evening with the binaural beats. But is there something that you do every day, or carving out time that you do every day?
Yeah, I do actually. I get up every morning and I live at the beach, and I go to one of the pools, like the ocean pools, and I walk into the water very slowly. Everyone laughs at me, but it's some kind of mindfulness meditation I do when I go into the water very slowly. And I do this pretty much every day of the year. Even when the water goes down to 13 degrees, I still do this. So I found this very calming. It's a really good start to the day.
No, what a wonderful and present and intentional way to start the day. Yeah. That is basically cold plunging is what you're doing with the breath work.
In winter.
No, correct.
Not in summer. In summer it's warmer, but in winter, yes.
Yes, for sure. How do you unwind? That might be the thing that you do. Would you say that's how you unwind after a particularly tough way, or you put on music, or what do you do after wheels and mistakes, planning all day?
I love the water, so I go for a swim in the evenings after work.
Yes.
I like cooking. I usually cook the dinner because I found cooking quite relaxing.
Yes.
So these are probably the two things I do to unwind in the evening.
No, amazing. And any personal or professional projects that you can share with us that you're working on at the moment?
Look, there's no particular project I'm working on apart from my business to grow, but like a personal project, it's probably more I'm part of a different project, like surf life saving. So I really like surf life saving and the education around this and patrolling the beach. I found this quite, I'm quite passionate about this at the moment. So I just got my jet ski award for surf life saving. So I do all these things on weekends to look after members of the public at the ocean. I enjoy doing this. I'm quite passionate about this at the moment.
Amazing. So we'll see you out on the surf on the weekend sometimes.
We do. Every third Sunday or second Sunday, you see me at the beach patrolling. Yeah.
Oh, good on you. And appreciate the work that you do saving lives there, Marcus. Amazing stuff. Where do you, like, switching gears a little bit, getting it back to, I guess, the legal realm, where do you see with the advent of AI and where do you see that taking estate planning in the next 10 years, would you say?
I think AI will certainly change. It has in terms of drafting, so it will become more commodity. Yeah. But I think the input still has to be right, so the drafting process will get much easier. Yeah. AI will do a lot of the clauses which used to take you an hour to draft will now take 10 minutes to draft because AI will give you the first draft. It will change how junior lawyers work because junior lawyers were historically the ones to draft the first clause.
Of course.
So it will change. I think AI will also create a lot of litigation in the next 10 or 15 years because people will do their own AI generated wills or documents, and once they go to court, people realize it's actually not correct, because AI makes mistakes, and maybe not AI, but the input is not accurate enough to provide the perfect outcome. So I think there'll be a lot of litigation around this.
No, an interesting point that you make. I think that's the first time someone's called out the mistakes that could be made in the future, rather than just the innovations and whatnot that we talk about too, which are obviously amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, I love the AI. I think it's great, but I think when you use it for yourself, you see you need to correct it, and you don't know what you don't know.
That's a good point. And I think a lot of people get themselves into trouble with the citations, right? That's the big one, or references and citing cases that don't exist.
Yeah, like this. That's true. But I think this will. You need to double check the case. But if you use AI models from LexisNexis, or I'm not trying to advertise this here, they try to use just the internal information, it's less likely to occur. It can still happen, but you get a reference link to the actual case law. So the risk is lower, not as high when you use ChatGPT on the internet.
No, good point. And has there been any mentors in your life that you'd like to maybe?
I really don't know. I thought about. So I don't think I ever had one mentor who properly mentored me. I picked up from a lot of things from older lawyers I worked for, and there was probably one. When I came out here, this is my second language. So one lawyer actually took the time to teach me legal English. It was Norbert Schweitzer from a law firm I worked for. So he's probably the one who got me up to scratch as an Australian lawyer.
Amazing. And if you could change one thing about law, what would it be?
I think the traditional working hours are a bit silly sometimes, that you start at 9, go home at 7. Why not? You could actually start early and go home at 3, like tradespeople do, and enjoy the afternoon with your children.
Amazing. And what lessons would you share with the young lawyers? We talked about young lawyers going into the profession. Obviously, AI is changing things. What would you say to them, or younger professionals, young lawyers starting their career in law, estate planning, or otherwise? What would you like that message to be?
Yeah, like, so my son is studying law, so I can tell you what's telling him. You need to learn to use AI. He's quite reluctant, but I think you need to learn to use AI because it will be the future, even though you like writing, because young lawyers, people who study law seem to like writing. I think you still need to use AI, even though you don't like it. And you need to volunteer and do things outside the law to become a more complete person. You can't just have one interest. You need to volunteer, because the relationship is the one thing that gets your work in later on.
No, well said. Embrace AI, embrace the technology. And this is probably a good question for your good self, given the line of work that you're in, Markus. But, one day for you, when you yourself move on from this world, how would you one day like to be remembered, either professionally, personally, or both?
Professionally, as a lawyer who was able to explain it in simple words to me, and a lawyer we could refer a matter to. So I was trusted enough to, and I fought hard for my clients. And personally, probably because we're creating the next generation, as a good father, because if I was a good father, the next generation should be good too.
No, amazing. And where can people find you? Where are you hanging out the most? Is it on LinkedIn? Obviously, we know Surf Lifesaving. You'll be on the beach every third. Is it the third weekend you'll be out there?
Well, it's a roller. It's like a shift system. Like every second or third weekend, depending on when my patrol is on. It's a rolling shift system. LinkedIn from a social media purpose, or Instagram, and then at the beach. You probably see me quite a bit at the beach outside work. Otherwise, in the office working or catching up with people for lunch.
No, amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Well, definitely connect with Markus. We'll bring him back for some bonus questions in a moment, but really appreciate the opportunity to chat, Mark. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you are a legend of law or know someone who is and you want to be in the Live with Cullen Haynes LawLive, Ledger Legends if you're an accountant, or just the Live with Cullen Haynes general show, please get in touch. We come out every Wednesday, talking to a legend in the space. And please give us a cheeky follow on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, and of course, wherever you get your podcast. Bye for now, everyone. Happy Wednesday and Happy New Year. Hope all your dreams come true, and wishing you luck and all green lights this year. Nonetheless, bringing you back there, Marcus, for a couple of bonus questions. How would you explain your role to how to a young child, or how did you explain it to your children? Your role.
I think I did this actually explain to my children, because my wife's grandmother was still alive when my children were young, and the question was, at some point one of them asked, who will get the house? And we said, grandpa and grandma will get it. So I would explain this. Do you remember when grandma died? Someone, she prepared a document or letter saying who should get her house when she dies. This is what I do. I had people to write letters so everyone knows who should get their house or assets.
I love that. I love that. And if you could go back in time and give yourself advice at any age there, Marcus, when would you go back and give yourself this advice, and what would you say to yourself?
I would say start your business earlier. Work for a lawyer for 4 or 5 years, start your business, and volunteer more and be more out there. Be not so introvert.
Great advice. And when would that be? Would that be when you're in uni or high school, maybe?
Uni, high school and uni. So uni is probably the relevant time. Don't be introvert, don't be shy. It doesn't matter. And start your business earlier.
Absolutely. Wise words indeed. And I'm sure your younger self would be very impressed to what you've achieved. Be sure to connect with Markus Christmann, founder at Ask with Legal. And you have been listening to our episode 80, Legacy Law and Life Navigating Estates. Bye for now, everyone. Take care. Thanks so much again there, Marcus.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hey there, Cullen Haynes here, Australia's leading broker for lawyers on LinkedIn, and here's why I want to talk to you today about my book, my new book, The Laws of LinkedIn, 23 ways to find your tribe, build your following, and make 7 figures on LinkedIn. When I started this journey 7 years ago, when we built, myself and Andrew, my business partner, we built Legal Home Loans from the ground up, the pain point for us was we were at a standing start. No one knew who we were. We had no money, we had no contacts, and basically we had to find a way to make our voice heard, talk to our tribe, the legal community, and build trust. And the only thing we had at our disposal was LinkedIn, which was and still is free. There's over 1 billion people on LinkedIn, and I wish when I started I had this book with me to guide me, because I basically distilled my 23 top leading hacks that we use to build our business to a 7+ figure, and I really want to get it out there and share it with you. So if you're back